Hello friends, Ashish here from Guiding Tech, and today I have with me is on my right I have the LA 1S and on my left the Gionee M5 Lite Marathon. And today I'll be running some apps, benchmarks and have a look at the speed and the memory performance of both the devices and how they compete against one another. Now talking about the design aspect, the LA 1S looks and feels much premium when compared to the Gionee M5 Lite Marathon, and is also pretty light when compared to the Gionee, which is actually very heavy to hold and can be used as a paperweight. And apart from that, on the LA 1S you get a fingerprint sensor, and also the symmetry is done much better on the LA 1S. But you get a bigger battery life on the Gionee M5 Lite Marathon it's actually good to hold. I mean, the size is actually good if you don't have those big palm when compared to the LA 1S. So yes, that was a quick design comparison between both the devices. Let's now put them in the ring and have a look at the memory and speed when compared to each other. So guys, we are finally ready for the 1-1-1, and on the left we have the Gionee M5 Marathon Lite and on the right I have the LA 1S. And let's just check, and both the devices are not running any apps on the background. And first of all, we start with the benchmarks and then have a look at the specification, and then we'll see how the app launch on both the devices. So let's start with the N2 benchmark first of all, and I'll just tap cancel over there and just start the test button. So while this benchmark is running on both the devices, let's quickly have a look at the device specifications. So the Gionee Marathon M5 Lite runs on a MediaTek MT6735 quad-core processor, which is clocked at 1.3 GHz, and a Mali T720 MP2 GPU. It has a 3 GB of RAM and a 32 GB of internal storage with a 5-inch of HD display and a 294 ppi. Now it has a dragon tail glass protection, and the rear camera is just 8 megapixel while the front facing shooter is of a 5 megapixel, and to power that all up we get a battery of 4000 milliampere. Now on the other hand, the LeEco LA 1S runs on a MediaTek Helio X10 octa-core processor, which is clocked at 2.2 GHz and a PowerVR G6200 GPU. It also has a 3 GB of RAM and a 32 GB of internal storage, and has a 5.5 inch of HD display at 403 ppi. The rear camera is 13 megapixel over here, while the front facing shooter is also 5 megapixel, and to power that all up you get a battery of 3000 milliampere. So guys, as you can see, the final score is now in front of us, and the Gionee M5 Marathon Lite scores 34,075, while the LA 1S scores 53,576, and mainly the GPU score, the US, the CPU and everything is higher on the LA 1S when compared to the Gionee M5 Lite Marathon. So that was the N2 benchmarks. I'll not kill the app, and let's just head over to the Geekbench 3. Accept the license agreements, and let's just run the benchmarks. So while the benchmark is running, just wanted to let you know that we have covered a lot of one-on-one videos featuring the LA 1S itself, and also devices like the Lenovo K4 Note, and you can click on the card that you see on the top right hand side to have a look at those videos. So as you can see, the Geekbench results are also favoring the LA 1S with 957 for the single core and 5180 for the multi-score, which is quite higher than the multi-core score of the Gionee M5 Marathon Lite. So those were the benchmarks on both the devices, and as you can see, the LA 1S is a clear winner when compared. So friends, it's time to launch apps on both the devices and compare the speed test. And this time I'll not be launching the apps manually that I did last time, but I'll be using an app called DiscoMark, using which you can have an accurate results of how much time it takes for the device to launch the apps. Now I've already selected some of the apps that will be launching on both the devices, and all I need to do now is tap on the start button, So as you can see that both the devices have started the benchmarks, and all the apps will be launching one after the other in the sequential order. So let's just quickly have a look at how the app launches, and then finally we'll have a look at the exact time that both the devices take to launch each of the app. Now let me remind you that none of these apps were running in the background, and finally we'll also have a look at the memory management. So now all the scores are in front of us, and Asphalt Nitro took lesser time on the Lava NES, and after that almost every app took less time on the Gionee M5 Lite Marathon. So yes, as you can see that the CPU and the GPU is higher, it's stronger on the Lava NES, but then they really have to do some improvement when it comes to the software, and the UI is taking a lot of RAM, and therefore it takes some time for the app to launch when compared to the Gionee. So that was the benchmarking of how the app performed, and let's see that. As you can see, all the apps are running in the background, and let me just open up the Asphalt Nitro, and both of them are still in the memory. After that, let's launch yet another app, and this time it will be the Facebook. Oopsie. Okay, so the Facebook is ready, and again both of them are in the memory. So the memory management looks great on both the devices, and for gaming and all, I would certainly recommend the Lava NES, and in fact if the UI improves a lot, it's actually better in performance when compared to the Gionee M5 Lite. So friends, that was a quick comparison between the Gionee Marathon M5 Lite and the Lava NES. Now do let me know which device would you prefer, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. This was Ashish from Guiding Tech, and I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, take care and have a wonderful day.